Hello and welcome to episode number 100 of the NerdProQuo Podcast, the second half of the 100th episode, the live show. I am convinced that the universe somehow wants me to be angrier when I do these intros, because now every time I try to record an intro, the audio program and or my laptop decides to crash in the middle of recording the intro. Hopefully it won't do that this third time, but who knows? God damn it. In any event, this is the live show. There's a lot of edits that you're going to notice because I had to do a lot of audio editing, cut some stuff out. There was some downtime, but I kept recording, so you're going to notice a little bit of choppiness. Also, there was a little preamble that was part of this podcast, part of the recording, that is only going to be going up as part of the YouTube version of this podcast. So go check out NerdProQuo on YouTube if you want to hear that bonus material. A lot of it is one of the guests, Eliel Lucero, who was rambling about Tiny Toons, but it was very entertaining. But I wanted to keep it to the actual show. So that is going to be only going to be part of the bonus material, although I might release it as a little chunk. There's a bunch of unedited material from some of the shows and some extra stuff that I might be releasing as its own episode at some point in the near future. We'll see what happens, but in the meantime, go to YouTube, check out NerdProQuo, and check out that bonus material that's only going to be available on the YouTube channel. The plugs, Union Squared Slam. I finally looked this up the first time. A couple of times I recorded this intro, I didn't have this. So it is Union Squared Slam, and it's 7 p.m. With the poets of La Sopa, and that is going to be 7 p.m. It's a $5 cover. It's all ages. It is a Bureau of General Services, Queer Division, 208 West 13th Street, room 210. So go check that out. That is this coming Tuesday. Hopefully this podcast will be going up on time, and we'll see what happens as I am recording this intro on time. But that doesn't mean that all the editing will be done on time. This might not go up till Monday, but even so, that is happening Tuesday. And then the following Tuesday, in case I forget, Union Square is having their team send off. So go support that. Even if you can't make it this Tuesday, definitely go to the following Tuesday and support that team, because they are an awesome group of poets. Also, two of the guests on this live show also produced their own show. That is Luke Thayer and Aaron Kominos-Smith do the Living Room Comedy Show every Friday night at the Postmark Cafe at 8 p.m. That is free. That is 4th Street between 4th and 6th. 6th Street between 4th and 5th Avenue in Park Slope, Brooklyn. Go check that out. Aaron Kominos-Smith also has his podcast, and I also, which is up and running. It is very cool. You should check that out on iTunes or however you get your podcast material. I will hopefully have linked in the doobly-doo to everyone's Twitters. In the meantime, there's some cool stuff coming up. We talk a little bit, Eliel and Yves and me talk a little bit about Voltron Legendary Defender, the new now month old, but still relatively new cartoon series on Netflix, done by the same people who did Avatar: The Last Airbender. We're going to be doing a review of that hopefully next week. That podcast should be going up. Also, some stuff about Preacher. If you've been following us at all on Twitter, that is at NerdProQuo on Twitter. Been live tweeting Preacher. I may or may not be still watching that show out of spite, but we will see what happens with that show. Might do a little bit of a season wrap-up once the season is over. I'm not going to get into that now in this intro. Also, not necessarily going to... There's a lot of... going to try and keep it upbeat. There's a lot of really negative stuff that happened in this past week, so I hope at least you get some hope in maybe some fun from this podcast. Try and love each other and enjoy yourselves, because I know it's been a rough couple of weeks for basically the entire country. So, but I don't really want to get into that, but I just figured because this podcast, aside from being nerdy, tends to skew a little political, just wanted to give a little bit of a mention of that. I won't get into specifics because In a lot of ways, I don't think it's my place, and I don't really want to express an opinion on that. But thank you guys so much for still listening to this podcast. For you guys who are subscribers, if you aren't a subscriber, enjoy this show, subscribe, look us up on iTunes, in the RSS feed, leave comments, let us know what you're thinking, and a special thank you to all the performers, Aaron Kominos-Smith, Luke Thayer, Sean Mallory, Jared Singer, Rico Frederick, and Grace Kalambay. All very awesome people, all people you can look up. Either I will provide an doobly-doo, if not tonight, then tomorrow night, links in doobly-doo to all their Twitters and all that, so you guys can check them out. They are all very, very cool people. Did I forget anyone else? Oh, yeah. Special thanks to Yves and Eliel Lucero for also coming on the show. And thank you guys for listening. This is episode 100 of the NerdProQuo Podcast, the second half, the live show. Get to it. All right, we're starting. God damn it. Even though most of the people aren't even here yet, it's cool. We're going to start this. We're going to be excited. Yeah, I'm going to... Actually, I'm sorry. I knew this was going to happen. I knew as soon as I got on the mic, Jared is like, there are sound things I'm going to yell at you about. So I'm going to bring up your first comedian of the night. Start clapping now. He is a co-producer, co-booker of the Living Room Comedy Show, which is every Friday night. I managed to hoodwink them into coming over here, even though their show is also tonight. So the first person who's coming up is going to be Luke Thayer. Check him out at Comedian Luke. If you have anything to plug, please do it while you're on the mic. Come on up. Give it a round of applause for Luke Thayer.
All right, let's go ahead and just get this show started. Cold open here. Guys, I don't know if you're into politics or not. I'm from one of those red states. I'm from Indiana, which people don't look or sound like this in the state of Indiana. We have something called the Hoosier twang. And I've worked very hard to get rid of mine because you can't have that accent and get on TV, but I can slip into it every now and then. It's a little lower, a little slower, and a lot more friendly, as long as you don't listen to the words we use about people, right? And this voice don't make no sense to people in New York City, right? Because if you look at a map, well, Indiana's up here, but it sounds like we're from down here. That's because we're a very special state, you see. We took all the horrible weather of the north and combined it with the ignorance of the south. Made ourselves beautiful white-topia there. Oh, it's real nice, as long as you're white, straight, a man, or a horse, right? And if you combine all four of those, you are the mayor of the state. That is law. That's happened more than once, right? It isn't the most progressive place, but it's kind of weird in the way that it's backwards. For example, like gay marriage, that was legalized throughout the United States. Some people were happy, some people were upset. Indiana had the most unique response to it. We sent out a representative on the national news, right? And when I say representative of the state, I don't mean like a state senator. I mean like a guy that owns a pizza place. That's who gets to speak for all of Indiana, right? And he went on the national news and said, we want everybody to know we won't be catering any of these gay weddings. I know, that says a lot about the state of Indiana, that anybody wants to cater their wedding with pizza. That's disgusting. Stop it now. Stop it now. It's such a weird political environment now, right? Because Donald Trump's going to be our president, right? Like, I know you say no, but like, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's like Godzilla. He is coming for us to destroy us. See, why do I? Because I watch the news, right? If everyone in this room was deciding who the president would be, then he wouldn't be our president. But he's not. The whole country is deciding this. And look at the news. It grows in power every day. And look, I get it. He's not the president we want, but he's probably the one we deserve as a country right now, right? We've been worshiping the Kardashians for the last 10 years. You know what? We don't get real presidents anymore. We get a cartoon. That's what we get for what we've been doing, right? I think even Donald Trump is shocked the joke has gone on this long, right? He's kind of like, I just want another season of The Apprentice. Now I'm your president. You're welcome. Oh. Like I can tell the vibe of the crowd. Probably Bernie people, right? Is that what you guys were? Were? Yeah. Well, you should have voted for him. It might have helped, right? Yeah. Lots of people with the shirts. I don't know if there's that many people voting, but he made a lot in merchandise sales. So he had a merch table. At 74 years old, running for president, a merch table. I think that's why you're not president. Donald Trump is a merch table. He doesn't have a merch table. He is one. Bernie didn't do so well in the Midwest or the South, and I think I know why. It's the voice, right? It's that New York Jewish accent. And it's not like people were just bigoted by it. We've just never seen that before or heard it. So in the Midwest, we don't hear New York Jewish. We just hear mafia. That's the closest thing we could connect to. And so it comes out like, hey, well, you want some health care? We're going to get you some health care, yeah. You're going to owe us a big favor, but you're going to get that health care. Hey, we just had some health care fall off the back of a truck. Go ahead and give her some free health care. I don't think that it matters, really, who our president is. I think people say that, but really it matters more like who the Congress is. President doesn't, and it's in Republican, Democrat, that doesn't matter to me at all. Like, people say, well, Republicans are the bigoted ones. Dude, it's just a game of three-card Monte, like that shell game, where we move the bigotry around in political parties anyway, right, in history. At one point, Republicans freed slaves. At one point, Democrats were spraying black people down with hoses, and then we flip-flop the shells again. Well, who's the next shell going to be? I think it's the teabaggers, right? Yeah, because they call themselves that. I don't trust any party that calls themselves a teabagger. I'm like, I don't even think you know what that means. It means we're very conservative. Not according to the internet. Whew. You should have Googled that before you put it on a bumper sticker next to soccer mom. Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter, though. Like Republican, Democrat stuff, like to me, the difference between a Republican and Democrat is like the difference between DC Comics and Marvel Comics. You just pick your... I actually had a punchline, but I appreciate you shouting that out. That works. I know. I appreciate the help. Being recorded for a podcast. And the only thing that they're actually going to hear on the podcast is me responding to dead air. Because you don't have a mic, so it didn't work. But yeah, guess I won't be finishing that joke for you guys. You got a punchline. So, whoops, that joke's done. See, this is the thing, though. I think I riled up the room too much, Because it's politics. You never leave a political discussion going, I'm glad I did that. Wow, that was good. Oh, I have left one going, I can't talk to Grandma anymore. She's racist. We're done. Oh, man. All these politics, they just divide us anyway, right? They don't bring us together as a country. They divide us. Like things like gun control, man, that people are fighting over that. I think it's simple. The solution is right there in front of our faces because we have the Second Amendment, right? So with the Second Amendment, we have the right to own guns. So here, I've got the compromise. What we will do is everyone has to own a gun. But the gun has to be made before the Second Amendment was written, right? That's it. No more guns that were made after the Second Amendment. So you get a blunderbuss or... Basically, you don't get rifling. You're not allowed to have a gun that shoots straight, right? Because back in the day, those guns didn't work. They're like, you have the right to bear arms. Yeah, but most of the time, you killed the person by turning the gun around and just beating them to death with it, right? That was much more effective with those guns because they didn't have rifling. The bullet didn't shoot straight. You just jam some nails in there or some big hunk of lead. You tamp it down. You aim at a huge group of people. In fact, the entire other army needs to stand still. Just stand still in a line. Don't move. Let me point this giant thing at you. And you pull the trigger. And half the time you just blow off your own face because the gun didn't work and it malfunctions. The other half of the time, you just pray the bullet would graze somebody so they could eventually die of infection. That's it. USA. USA. One of the big problems in the country is the wealth divide, right? Like there's so much money that some people have and so much that other people don't have. Sometimes I'll read the news and you'll see a rich person commit suicide because they lost a bunch of money in the stock market. I find that offensive because what they're saying is, I'd rather be dead than live like you, all right? I'm not going to do it. The thing about money, it changes people too, because nobody's really generous. And the only time a human being is generous is when they have a full pack of gum. That's it. That's the only time. You got a full pack of Juicy Fruit, all of a sudden you become like George Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life. Oh, would you like a stick? Anybody, everyone here have a stick of this gum. Oh, it's good, right? You get down to the last stick, though. You're like Mr. Potter. Nobody gets this but me. I can't do a Potter voice. I can't do him yet. So let's see. I don't even know how much time I'm doing. I feel like I've been up here for quite a while. I don't know if that's an indictment on you or me. 2 minutes if you want. 2 minutes? Well, I just want to make sure Aaron can get up so that, we can. I'll do one more joke and then get out of here. Well, if you had been here for the other 8 minutes, then you wouldn't be saying that, right? I know. You're dealing with a professional comedian here. You guys aren't going to beat me. All right, that's what I'm saying. You're not going to. Yeah, there we go. I think I have a problem with rich people because I have never had money ever. Right? My parents are old and broke, which is a horrible combination. My inheritance is going to be this bag of Sweet and Low packets my mom has been stealing from the local Denny's for the last 25 years, right? They have no money, but my sister has a little bit of money, so she's buying them stuff like iPads and iPhones, and so my mom decided to join Facebook, and she's 75 years old. She doesn't know how to use it. She uses a magnifying glass with her iPad. I'm like, you can just pinch that and make it bigger. I don't think so. That doesn't sound right. No, I don't think so. And so she's on Facebook, and I don't know if you've had your parents or grandparents find you. It's weird. And she only has 3 friends on there. Me, my dad, and my sister. I'm like, we don't need social networking for this. We could just have dinner. We don't need this. But my dad, he joined Twitter, right? Which I'm shocked that he even knew what it was. I thought at 78 years old, he would think that was some type of old-timey small-town disease. Like, did you hear about Bob? No, what happened? Oh, he's got the Twitter. Yeah, it must be bad, because they said he tweets all night long. I don't know. And he's tweeting on there now, because I'm at Comedian Luke. He decided, well, you make jokes, I made you, therefore I shall make jokes too. And so this is one he put on his account. He said, I'm taking a nap, but maybe forever. Pretty good. That's pretty good, right? But that was 3 months ago, and he has not posted anything since. I'm like, I should have checked up on him. So anyway, guys, I got to get out of here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jamie.
Oh, Luke's there. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to introduce your next comedian. He has an awesome podcast called But I Also, which is, if I am getting this correct, it is people describe the things they also do if they have a work. But I also do this. But I also do comedy, but I also play music. He is also a co-producer, co-booker of the Delivering Comedy Show. Give it up for Aaron Kominos-Smith.
All right. You did. You nailed the description perfectly. This is the way I officially say it is, but I also exploring not only what you do for a living, but also what else you love to do. That's the way I say it in exactly that silky smooth voice. That's the way I say it because I feel like not too many people are waiting to get discovered by NPR, but I feel like I almost have that urge, or WNYC, whatever. I will take whatever comes my way. That is it. Trump, we're excited. You guys excited about Brexit? About the EU and Britain and whatever any of that means that none of us can comprehend at all, but seem to suddenly have strong opinions about? No one has any idea what they're talking about. Even Donald Trump was out there and he was like, this just shows that they're tired of the rich elites telling them what to do. And I was like, Donald, did you just say this is the people saying they don't like rich elites? I feel like we're a week away from Donald Trump just saying, don't vote for me. And then people will still vote for him. Because I've stopped trying to make sense of any of it. There's no point in trying to understand at all. And then I get frustrated, and then I try to make a joke about it, and then I just end up yelling. So, I call my dad, and I try to talk politics with my dad, but the problem is that we both agree with each other too much. And we just instead of calming each other down, we rile each other up, and we're both screaming on the phone, agreeing with, no, he can't I know he can't, I know that's not the Constitution, it's not what it says, I know it's not, and then we're screaming about the Second Amendment, but we completely agree, and I'm like, why are we doing this? And then I end up angrier somehow, because I feel more justified in believing what I do. All right, anyway. Wow, even when talking about it, I got upset. So, guys, I'm actually this short all the time. This is not just a part of my act. And then right after, you're right, my lack of height does deserve to be clapped for. That is correct. This is the opposite of high school. Thank you. That was fun. I think after Luke, who is much bigger than me, the comics will only get shorter from here on out on the show. I don't know if you know this, Jamie, actually in the back, there are some children who will be performing next. He closes the show with a kitten. It's really, a kitten goes up, it's adorable, it's tiny. You can't even see it, it's down here, but you guys will get really close and you will enjoy it. It'll be good. So guys, I recently read this in a women's magazine. I was doing some research, I saw this. I saw the top 2 turnoffs for women, according to this article that I read. Short and bald. In other words, the 2 things men have no control over whatsoever. That's pretty fair, right? That's cool. Hey, what else do we put on that list? What else? I don't know. How about blood type? Let's put that on there too. I would love to see that on your dating profile. Sorry, I only date universal donors. Do you want to take a test? Roll up your sleeve. Let's find out. I don't know. I feel like. Would you say no teeth? Is that? You're right. That is the 4th thing. No teeth. But that you can choose to just not do drugs, and then your teeth will stay in your mouth, and then there you go. Look, I get not everyone will be a perfect match for everyone else. I understand that. This may come as a surprise to you guys, but I have been turned down by some women. That's shocking. I know your gasp was appropriate. That was correct. I get it, but here's the deal. Ladies, if you're gonna turn a guy down, do me a favor. A simple no works. All right, that's all. You don't have to be mean or aggressive. You don't have to go overboard. You're going to sound ridiculous. This girl once said this to me. She goes, no, Aaron, not going out with you. I wouldn't date you in any way, shape, or form. It's I got it. I think I understood you at way. But, I don't know, I am glad you specified no shape and no form. I was about to go home and turn into a triangle. Now I'm not going to bother. I saved us all some time. She sounded ridiculous, all right? She sounded really silly. I think it's very easy to sound silly with what you say, you guys. If we could all stop doing this, that would be great. I'm sure a lot of us do this. You're at work, getting a meeting started, and you say, well, without any further ado, you don't need to say that. You can just start talking. Just go ahead. All you've done at that point is add more ado. Whatever that is, all right? So do me a favor. Just don't ado that anymore. Just go ahead, say it. Hurry up. I really got to take an ado. All right, hurry. Was that 1 too many or 2 too many? Or was it number 2 too many? All right. Guys, I'm so funny to me. All right. That'll be a weird thing to say, too. I think that's why I love living in New York City. No matter how odd you are, someone else will always out-weird you. It's really great. I was on the subway. I saw a guy wearing a sleeveless hooded sweatshirt on the train. I was like, wow, you were prepared for no weather. You are hot and cold. He looked ridiculous. He was dressed kind of weird. This is one of the weirdest things I saw. I saw a hot dog cart vendor wearing a chef's hat. I'm going to say that again. I saw a hot dog cart vendor wearing a full-fledged floppy cloth, slightly to one side chef's hat. All right, this guy was not screwing around. I don't know how many Michelin stars that cart had. This guy was way overdressed for his job, all right? I was very confused. The only way that would have made more sense is if right afterwards I got into a taxi and the driver had on a NASCAR helmet. Then I'd be like, oh, I see what's going on. Apparently, it's wear the hat for the job you wish you had to work day. You should have told me that. I would have worn my baseball helmet. We could have all talked about our dreams together. We could have all done that. I wanted to be a baseball player, you guys. I wanted to play baseball, a professional baseball player. I did not know this. They do not come in my size. I did not know that. There's no benefits. A small strike zone, but that's about it. There is nothing else that you get from being small and trying to play baseball. If there's one kind of thing that they are way overdressed for their job, it is definitely baseball. I love baseball. I'm a big fan. These guys are wearing button-down shirts tucked into their pants. They're wearing belts. I'm sorry. There's no reason for business casual for any sport. Like, no one else gets that dressed up for a game. I've never seen that. I've never been, like, watching the Olympics. Seen some Kenyan who's down on the track, who's just really excited. Right before he starts, he's just, before I take on this 200-meter dash, I need to know, is my tie on straight? Like, that has never happened. Guys, that was a pretty damn good Kenyan accent right there. And we all just kind of sat quietly. When I said I was short, something that I had no control and didn't even choose or try, you guys clapped. When I watched Lion King last night to make sure that my Kenyan was on, not as much from you guys for that one. Watch. I'm going to sing the whole Lion King soundtrack for you guys. We're going to do the we're doing the whole thing, you guys. We're not, even the weird ones, even the be prepared. I'm going to even do those weird ones, and then they come out, and the hyena's goose step. I'm doing it. I will do the whole, we're going to do a little Fiddler on the Roof after that. You guys with me? A little Fiddler. If I was a rich man. Yabba dee 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 dee. We're going to do the whole, I'm doing Fiddler. We're doing, which, by the way, guys, I'm Jewish, and I have to say, Tevye, could you make Jews look any more ridiculous? That's what you would do if you were a rich man. You would yabba deeby deeby, deeby 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 dum. That's not even a word. That's just letters. That's just letters you put together. The song would be a lot like, if I was a rich man, I'd invest in some stocks and a high yield bond. Like, that's a much more appropriate thing. All right, guys, I'm going to close on this joke where I'll probably lose you, but we'll see what happens. Look, I've had a little bit of luck with ladies. I've not had luck with ladies. We've had them all happen. I was at a bar, and I heard this white guy was hitting on this girl, and it kind of pissed me off what he said. He was trying to do that thing. I don't know if you've ever heard a guy say this. He goes, listen, I may be white, but I am black in all the right places. Have you ever heard? I heard a guy say this, and I was like, that's a little weird. That implies there are wrong places to be black. I don't like that. I want to hear it the other way around. I want to hear a black guy say, listen, I may be black, but I am white in all the right places. If you don't believe me, come back to my apartment. I will show you my huge trust fund. Was that offensive? I'm not sure if that second part was, but we got somehow, you can't do a Kenyan accent and then make a joke like that, Aaron. You just can't do that. That's how, not in Brooklyn. That's not how it goes. All right, you guys, I'm going to ride 8 more subways, 1 stop to get to the next place I got to go. You guys are a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much.
Give it up one more time for Aaron Kominos-Smith. So, just in case you guys have not noticed the obvious, Aaron has come off the mic, and I have come on the mic and have not needed to adjust it whatsoever. And just to point out the two things that a man has no control over, his height and being bald, clearly, I will be single for the rest of my life.
I'll date you. No, you do push-ups.
Yeah. I do push-ups. What's weird is that like there was an idea that was proposed that this whole show would just be a roast of me. let's maybe not do that, because I will roast myself as much as possible. So start giving it up. Start clapping. I'm gonna bring up your next performer of the night. It's gonna be you. I'm sorry, I didn't tell you ahead of time. Again, like I said, it would not be this podcast or this show if things weren't horribly wrong. But start giving it up for Mr. Sean Mallory.
I love the surprise introduction. You're next. Oh, okay, cool. Good to know now. I'll tell some jokes. If I ran an operation that delivered drugs extremely fast, I'd call it Instagram. Took a delay, but most drug jokes do. That joke is for anyone who has smartphones or whoever has purchased drugs illegally in the metric system. I think it's strange that's the only time Americans know the metric system. It's true. We could have a friend from overseas. We'll get lost in translation talking to them. Like, oh, hey, buddy, now that you're in town, where are you staying? I'm just staying a few meters that way. Yeah. I have no idea what the hell you just said. Well, I have some cocaine. Really? How much? I'd say about a kilo. I completely understand. We're on the same page. What's that? Go darker? Okay. When lesbians suspect that their partner's cheating, you ever think they use the phrase, something seems fishy? All right, I'll take it. By the way, whoever's never seen me before, this is how it's going to be from here on. All right, so brace yourselves and strap in, or strap on if you're a lesbian. All right, somebody's been to a sex shop. If a Native American family walks into a restaurant, is it rude to ask them if they have reservation? All right, he knows. That's appropriate. He's the closest to a Native American in the room. She's like, what about me? I got 1/8, bitch. I took my DNA test. Any Catholics here? This joke is for you. I dedicate this to you. If you grow up Catholic, you're told that using condoms is a sin. If you grow up in a modern society, you're told that using condoms can prevent STDs. Whether you end up in hell for using them or in a clinic for not, either way, you're going to feel a burning sensation. Whoever didn't laugh at that has an STD. Some of you laughed harder at that. That's not suspicious. I'm on to you. I've never been a fan of Catholic priests. They've always annoyed me. Ever since I was a kid, they just seem to rub me the wrong way. It's a cute joke. You guys can agree that you should never shake a baby, right? Yeah, well, I'm glad we're on the same page. I've learned, let me tell you something. That's the last time I hire a babysitter with Parkinson's. Although she does make a hell of a martini. Some of you seem overly concerned. It's just a joke. I don't actually have a baby anymore. I don't know. It's going to get worse. This is true. I saw an ad that said you can help a child with autism. Personally, I don't see how autism can do them any good. Some people need to step up their grammar game. Truth bombs. Here's something interesting. A man named Horst holds the record for the longest ejaculation of semen, being 18 feet 9 inches. My God, that's an accomplishment. He's come a long way. I don't know what that is in the metric system. If there's any foreigners, I apologize. Here's another cool fact. Japan has an average of only 2 gun-related homicides a year. Yeah. I hadn't realized that the population of Americans living there was so small. That joke will always be too soon. What's that, darker? Okay. All right. Relax, I only have so much melanin. All right. You missed a lot of funny shit. All right, welcome back. Don't worry, I'll still kill it. All right. Jamie, get your ass back here. I'm fucking with you, man. I read a story about how somebody had set fire to a battered women's shelter. That's just wrong, you know? I mean, everybody knows anything that's battered should be fried, not roasted. Yes, I found a threshold. I was waiting for that moment. I was told to look up the word procrastinate. I'll do it later. Recently, I've been slipping placebo roofies into women's drinks. The only problem is I have to let them know what I've just done in order for it to work. I should end on that, but I don't know how much time I got. All right, I'll do more jokes. I'll give you some observations. I love watching. I like watching BBC News. It's my shit. British reporting is very efficient, but also very condescending. What they'll do is they'll talk shit in a very sneaky and subtle way about whatever third world country they happen to be reporting in, right? Just by using a common expression, they'll slip a phrase right at the end, so they'll say something like this. We're here in Cambodia, and the people have lost limbs from landmine accidents, which only goes to show you, you shouldn't always put your best foot forward. It's like, did he just say that? It's messed up. They'll just move on with the next report somewhere else in the world, some other third world place, just as casual. So, the people of Uganda may be starving. However, there'll be plenty of food for thought. He did it again. It's like, how do they get away with that? And I realize it's because they sound so intelligent to us. I was thinking to myself, I was envious. I was like, I wish I had that BBC reporter voice naturally. I'd go up to strangers and leave fake reports. Why not? Just go up to some random guy. Jonathan Williams is a contortionist who was recently diagnosed with HIV, making him one sick and twisted individual. So, who the fuck are you? I'll go up to somebody else while they're eating dessert. For Katie, acquiring diabetes will be quite easy. Some might even say it'll be a piece of cake. So, where'd this asshole come from? Cake is amazing, right? Yes. I don't understand how carrot cake ever gained any popularity with such a horrible sounding name, right? It tastes good, but the name isn't appetizing. I'm thinking like who in history was eating cake and they're like, you know what this cake is missing? Vegetables. But what I want to know is how many slices of carrot cake do I have to eat for it to mount to one whole carrot, right? Because I want to get my daily serving of vegetables. I don't know about you good people. My goal is to make sure that my vision is good enough to read the small print on my diabetes medication. That's how we do here. I really like languages, and I notice that certain things in certain languages, certain words don't really sound right to us. It's just weird in translation. For example, this is true. The word for poison in German is Gift. It's a real thing. It's a fucked up idea of a gift. I'm thinking like how many English-speaking people you think went to Germany to try to learn to speak the language ended up dying on their birthday by mistake? Well, you know, he wanted the gift. You should have said what kind. French is another one of those. For example, do you know, any of you guys know the word for where in French? Location, where? Où, yeah, où. It's not a word. It's a fucking sound. That's just laziness on the French. Whoever is creating the language is lazy as hell. I need a sound for the location. This place is où. Où, that means well. It must be really weird when French people are having sex. Some of you guys are ahead of the game right now. It's like, ooh, why does she keep asking well? I said I was inside. You walked in on a really weird joke. They're just humping midair and yelling, ooh, ooh. All right, but don't worry, there's context to it. All right, I'm not going to backtrack though. Languages. I was talking about languages. Hey, brown people in the back, do you guys know Hindi? That's my way of saying hi to people. That's right, come closer. I was talking about languages. Do you know Hindi? Okay. So I've started. So what I used to learn Hindi is a computer program, and it works like this. It says the English word first, followed by the Hindi word, but the weird shit is not every word has a separate translation. Some words are the same in all languages, but they'll still put those examples in the computer program anyway, which is really stupid. So for example, they'll say, airplane, Havai jahaz, boy, larka, credit card. I'm like, really? I could have figured that shit out on my own. When is that ever helpful? You just say the word in their accent and you're good? Like, who's ever been in India and they're like, please help me, sir, I need to get to a hospital. Sir, I can't understand you. What are you saying? Please help me, I need a hospital. Oh! You should have said that before, asshole. This whole time he kept saying, hospital. You mean hospital? It's weird. I was talking about British people earlier. Did you guys know that there are British rednecks in the world? Yeah, I just found this out. They call them Australians. Oh, that's not nice. I like my Australians. I have friends from Australia. They're racist. I don't even have to say more. They say adorable things like, oh yeah, have you met my mate Sean? Not bad for a coloured guy. What? Well, he bought me this drink. I guess we're cool. I remember I showed my Australian friends around in the city. I took them to the sushi restaurant. I was like, hey, what did you guys think of that sushi place? One of them goes, not bad. That Chinese place was nice. Like, dude, you realize that's Japanese, right? Yeah, I don't really care what part of China. It's like, oh, fuck, we gotta leave right now. Shit got real. I feel like this guy's tripping on acid right now. Don't worry, you'll get treatment for your addiction one day. And then as you leave, I'll say, have a nice trip. All right, more jokes. Deal. I was like, yeah, you guys deserve this one. So I grew up in New York, and I love the diversity of my city, and but not everybody gets along in this melting pot, and I kind of love that because I'm down with the race war. Sorry, wrong meeting. I was in Midtown, and I saw two taxis collide with each other, and out came two angry immigrants yelling, screaming, and cursing at each other, which is always beautiful because immigrants can't curse for shit. They fuck up the grammar. Thank you, brother. One guy was African. He gets out of his cab. The other guy's Indian. He gets out of his cab. And this is how the beef goes down. Well, not beef, he's Indian, but you get the point. He goes, hey, asshole. Hey, buddy. Well, I'm waiting. You know, you're hit my car in it. I have dent, I can't fix this. Bastard. I was like, that is not intimidating at all. All of a sudden you hear, listen, motherfucker. You cut me off on 34th Street. I just wanted to make a left. Beach. Did he just say beach? I'd love a vacation right about now. But it gets worse. The Indian guy's cursing back, grammatically incorrect. Well, you know, you're kiss my asshole, fuck my mother dog, bitch. Yeah, the cops came and everything. I do have a punchline to that, but that one actually worked out, so I'm going to leave it there. How long is my set? Am I supposed to do every joke I've ever written? Because I will. All right. Why, thank you. Why, thank you kindly. Okay. I feel like I'm killing time for another comic who's late. I know. All right. I have friends from Ireland. You guys ever meet people from Ireland? Yeah. You'll probably notice they have really weird slang. For example, they like to use the word crack. Yes, the word crack means fun. Or maybe that's your other addiction besides acid. Dude, I'm joking. You can't actually. I'm only joking because you can't get addicted to acid. All right. It's true. Oh yeah. Wait. I have ADD. I got to get back on track. The Irish, so they use the word crack for everything. The word crack means fun in their language, and that's the translation. But they don't explain that shit to you. My friends, they caught me off guard. They're like, "Oh, hey, Sean, we're just going across the road to this pub just for the crack." Nah. Just wanted a drink if that's cool. I remember I showed them around in New York, and this is how they thanked me the next day. "Oh, hey, Sean, thanks a lot for last night. We had really great crack with you." I was like, look, I don't know if you guys know anything about American politics and my skin color. But can you not say that in front of all these cops we're surrounded by? Look, and get me arrested again. All right. Which brings me to this next question. If a deaf person is missing fingers, do they have a speech impediment? I like this guy. He tapped out. I love it. He just had like a revelation moment, like he was in church. He just turned into a middle-aged black woman right now. He did the hand thing and everything. That was beautiful. No, but it's a real question. I mean, certain things change up socially when you're deaf. Like, for example, certain things change up, like shopping with your friends. Because when you're deaf and you're shopping with your friends, conversation is done when your hands are full of bags. God forbid you gotta warn your friend who's about to get hit by a car. You're like, too bad that won't translate well because that was a visual and this is recorded. So they're gonna be like, why are they laughing at silence? That's stupid. That's dumb. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Give it up one more time for Sean Mallory.
All right, so let's do this back and forth. Do you want me to start now or?
You can totally start.
All right, so Jamie invited me here, and like he invited me and told me to come, and maybe I didn't completely read the Facebook invite or email, and I just saw 100th episode. I got to show up, and I've been on the show 3 times now, 4, 3 or 4.
It's three.
4. It is 4.
I think it's 4. No, it's definitely 4.
Once when I lived on 5th Avenue, 2 on 3rd, and once in Crook.
Yes.
And now 5. Numero 5. I don't know if I'm gonna make the cut yet. He gotta check shit. All right, so wait, you got a beer? Okay, grab me my. I'll grab it. No, so I can talk. I can talk while grabbing my beer. Anyway, guys, Jamie and I have. I've done the podcast with Jamie, and Jamie and I used to work together, and so I think we're just gonna have a short, 5, 6. We're gonna talk.
You're the one who said you wanted to talk. I don't know what's happening right now. I was gonna bring up another person, but you said you wanted to do a thing, and you didn't want to do a poem. So we're just doing this thing where we babble for a little bit. I mean, we could talk. Did you see the new companion? There's a new companion on Doctor Who.
Yo, Bob is dope. I just gotta say, I have not seen none of us. Hey, guys, by the way, the podcast is still happening. No, I'm joking. But I saw the trailer with Bob, and Bob is dope. And by the way, Peter Capaldi is rocking it. Last time we talked, he was still in his rock and roll phase, but then he left it, his punk rock phase, and then he left it, and he put on the suit again. And but I kind of love the fact that they never really did that with another Doctor, with the fact that he was just all right, fuck it, I'm not wearing a suit for half a season or whatever, or 3/4 of a season, and then I'll put one on when I'm fucking fine and ready. But I came here wanting to talk to you about Voltron. Jamie, motherfucking Martin, have you watched Voltron yet?
I have watched Voltron. By the way, if you guys haven't watched, if you're at all grew up in the 80s and you're a fan of 80s cartoons, if you have not watched on Netflix Voltron Legendary Defender, it is legendary. Because I've had alcohol and all D's have become T's now.
Yo, put some respect on his name.
It's really good. It's done by the people who did Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Korra. It's really awesome. And if you grew up in if you grew up in the 80s and you watched the Voltron cartoon in the 80s, you need to be watching Voltron Legendary Defender. It's totally awesome. Basically, I'm having Eliel sub in for the other people. I mean, Eve, if you want to hop in at any point, run up to the mic and be like, "No, fuck, I want to talk about this." It's okay, we can do that. This is that part of the show, and then I'm going to introduce the next couple of performers who are apparently going to be 2.
Hey, yo, Eve, come up, bro. I've given you alcohol before. I know what this is about, man. So like, what I felt about it was, I watched it way too quick, and it was dope, and it was like a dope. It wasn't an origin story. It was an origin like season, and I get that, but they left me a little too dangling because I kind of digged it so much. But I gotta be honest, I watched most of it like hungover because the way my dynamic works. Wait, Eve, listen, like, no, you are right.
You watch it sober.
No, I understand exactly what you're saying, but the way it works with me is like, my partner, she don't dig the animated shit all the time. So when I put it on is when we wake up with a hangover, and then I roll a spliff, and then like she smoked a spliff, and then we could watch some fucking Saturday morning or cartoons, and it feels like Saturday morning. You get me, right?
Yeah. I love that.
So basically, like, that's how I watch Voltron. But then, like, that was like the first half, and then everything else I watched on my own. So I dig every episode. Like, it was a good
Do
show.
you remember every episode?
I would say no, but I can tell you I remember the first 3 and the last 3.
They were great. That cliffhanger towards the end is, the Black Knight. What's his name again?
I don't know. Spoilers. I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna take the mic away.
You haven't watched this yet? What's wrong with you?
You can't host this show. Jamie, walk out of the room. Me and Eve will
Some
talk.
people here, but you should have watched this. What's your excuse?
I'm gonna watch. It's gonna be the rest of. Okay. Yes.
Get on that.
Let's talk about it, Jamie.
No.
Talk about it.
Let's
talk about it, Jamie.
There's not enough time. Okay. You.
You brought me over here. You can't kick me out.
I bought him. Wait, can I do one more thing?
You can do one more thing, but we're running out of time.
All right, I can't talk anymore about Voltron. But Eve, wait, can you watch Voltron? I'll rewatch it, and can we all 3 get back and like do a good Voltron episode?
Yes, that'll be the next episode. We're gonna do a Voltron episode. Yes, I promise it'll be a Voltron episode.
Last thing on the mic is that we had some comics. I don't know what's gonna get edited or not, but Sean was dope, and he mentioned he had a great joke about what was it? A twisted contortionist. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful joke. But the name he used for the character was Jonathan Williams. Jonathan Williams, which gets diluted to John Williams. And if you're a nerd, without John Williams, we could never have all the great scores. Which means every time I watch Star Wars or Jaws from now to the end of eternity, I'm going to be like, that dude did that shit with one hand in front of his body and one hand behind. Hell yeah, I love him.
Okay. It would not be this podcast if we didn't have like a weird, unorganized, like, we're just gonna talk about random shit for no reason. So I'm gonna do this and reconnect the mic to the stand. So we're gonna shift the. We're gonna shift the vibe a little bit, and we're gonna bring up a poet. It's a person who does poems on a mic, and the poet who is coming up right now has been on 4, 5, 6 national slam teams. What is it now? I don't even know. Basically, every single slam that has ever been in New York. Yeah. Half of which don't exist anymore. I'm not gonna explain it. I'm not gonna do the whole. This is not a poetry slam. I'm not gonna explain the whole. It doesn't matter. So this man is an amazing poet, an amazing graphic artist, an amazing person who always comes out and sports things and is also a massive nerd. Like, for real, like, I'm Rico, like, you're one of those people who, like, behind. I've said this about you before, but like behind the scenes, yeah, and like on mic is one of basically the best people I know, and is one of those people who I talk about who like, oh, the universe is an okay place because this person exists. And also he writes awesome fucking poems. So start giving it up. Start giving your energy to Rico Frederick. Give it up for Rico Frederick.
Dead silence. No. I'm really happy to be here. I'm really happy to jump in on this joint. So I'm going to read una poem. 5:28 p.m. Among the riddle of Grand Central Station, commuters, crying babies, conductors conducting chaos, my lady arrives, a black cocktail dressed in star drizzle, her polite hand pouring into mine. I hold on to her smile, dismiss every other thought. We are literally dancing the two-step at rush hour, like for real, like. She places her warm fingertips into the confidence of my cheek and says, "You're fucking crazy." I'm not. They are. We glide to the sound of my heartbeat, her eyes filled with love.
I didn't know that Rico was only going to do one poem. I was just like, he's going to, I mean, it's fine. So, I said just one if you want, if you could do, okay, no, it's fine. I mean, Rico, you could do another poem if you want to do another poem. I'm just saying. Yes, yes, yes.
Well, you sure? I kind of wanted to do something fun, and you know, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do something fun, and it's like, I don't have any of the fun shit at all. Shit, I'm like, heavy, really heavy. No laugh. Shit. All right, well, I'm gonna read this shit because it's just the last real poem that's like happened. What do you call a black eye when you're already so black? As the elevator doors sliced open, revealing a me-colored me, her blue-eyed body whiplashed into a gazelle knee-deep in a bed hot of coals, a red gasp unshackled from her throat, her pale face stunned with a particular wasp of terror. If apartment 4B had a gun, I'd be the phone call no mother wants singed to her ear. Her boyfriend speaks to disarm the horrible lurch. Babe, stop it. Bro, she wasn't expecting you here. It felt like the right gift for the wrong present. A black eye when you're already so black. As if me fighting for permission to live in my East Harlem apartment complex wasn't the third definitive gray hair in this black man's beard. Or how scared I was at the wild animal of her panic. I fear reaching for a pencil in my pocket could draw me closer to the end of my bloodline? Why we let so much casket come between us? We are not fighting to become a different color. We are fighting to have the same peace of mind. Ignorance, bigotry, white as colonial bones in my body, white as the space around a black boy's iris before his eyes go searching for salvation in the night sky of his skull. When a car backfires on a lonely street in Connecticut, why does my mother call to make sure I am still alive in New York City? Thank you, guys.
Give it up for Rico. Yes, clap. So, before we bring up the last person who's going to be performing tonight, I felt remiss if he was finally on the podcast. He's going to be episode 99 of the podcast. He is my roommate, one of my best friends, and clearly a better man than me. I'm gonna say, like, just no lie, like he cleaned up the apartment because people are gonna be coming over. I cleaned it up last night, and he did stuff that I couldn't have thought to do. He is clearly I was promoting this, and he was talking about it. He's clearly much better at this than I am, and he's gonna come do a poem for you guys. Give it up for Jared Singer. Give it up for Jared Singer.
All I got is like love poems and really depressing shit. And Rico was like, no love poems, which means y'all in for some depressing shit. And it's Rico's fault. The only parties that I am comfortable at are the ones whose meaning has been predefined for me. I love weddings. We are there to let somebody new into our family. I do well at funerals. I understand the delicate saying of goodbye, understand that this too is a form of love, understand that this too is a form of party, even if no one wants it to be. The thing that I'm not good at is the heart of a relationship. The thing that I'm not good at is the time between hello and goodbye. What I mean by this is that I expected to die before I was 18. That I buried my grandmother 1 week after her 100th birthday. What I'm saying is that when you're a man who chose to move to the city from the mountain, you know that you aren't comfortable with who you are. That the idea of past and future are both concrete, and that I am some indefinable middle. I am trying to make this middle comfortable. I am trying to make this party human. I don't know how to talk to people. I only know how to be there to watch them grieve. I only know how to introduce myself and not how to actually share who I am. What I'm saying is that I have one suit, that I only wear it to weddings and funerals, and that it is faded and tattered What I'm saying is I need a new suit, but I'm not sure I want to stay at this party that long.
Like I said, that man is clearly a better man than I am. Is all I'm saying. So, yeah.
I could see them dreaming in the firelight. In the firelight, I could hear them breathing when the place subsides. When will my place subside? Oh, I know it's alright uptight. Oh. Making me breathe. You don't mean a thing, but it means so much to me. If I have no direction, I've got somewhere to be tonight. Don't mind the way you're making me cry. It's the price I should pay for committing a crime. It's the price I am paying for being alive tonight. Alright, uptight, it's alright. Uptight, it's alright. I could see them dreaming in the firelight. In the firelight, I could hear them breathing when the place subsides. When will my place subside? That's the song I played for the first podcast I ever did with Jamie, and I'm glad to bring that back. It's apropos, you know, it's apropos. Oh, you like it? Oh, okay. Another song. as far as this plastic tube will go. Maybe he didn't know. Maybe he didn't know. He didn't know. Maybe he didn't know. Maybe he didn't know. I won't say I told you when I told you so. Ooh, baby, he didn't know. He didn't know. He didn't know. He didn't know. Heart is so black, you know it's honey, and body so strong, you know it's toxic. I know it's toxic. You know it's toxic. I know it's toxic. I know, 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 I know. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, All right. No. I'm gonna do one a cappella. I'm gonna do an a cappella.
Oh, hell yeah. I will beatbox and I will pretend to be dumb. But I am never going to do that.
This is actually an 18th century poet. And I transcribed his poem and I made it into music. This is how I hear his poem every time I read it. It's called I Hid My Love. I hid my love when young, till I couldn't bear the buzzing of a fly. I hid my love to my despite, till I could not bear to look at light. I dare not gaze upon his face, but left his memory in each place. Wherever I saw wildflower lie, I kissed and bade my love goodbye. I met him in the greenest dell, where dewdrops pearled the wood bluebell. A lost breeze kissed his bright blue eye. A bee kissed and went singing by. A sunbeam found a passage there. A gold chain round his neck so fair, as secret as a wild bee song. We lay there all the summer long. I hid my love in fields and town, till even the breeze would knock me down. The bees seemed singing ballads o'er a fly's base turned a lion's roar, and even silence found a tongue to haunt me all the summer long. A riddle nature could not prove, was nothing else but secret love, was nothing else but secret love, was nothing else but secret love. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate being here. Congratulations on your 100th fucking episode.
So that has been our the celebration of the 100th episode of this podcast. It was a live show. I understand. I get how this works. So we're going to eat and drink a little more and probably move this over to the house. But I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Thank you so much for coming out. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys came out.
I would get a little verklempt, but what's happening right now? I'm about to be molested. What's? Oh, okay. That's
We all love you, Jamie.
Thank you for coming out. Yeah, that has been a live show. We're gonna chill for a little bit and drink some more and eat some more.
Oh no. Shazam was awesome. Like in the awful movie realm. Like it was an awesomely awful movie. And you know what? Like a black man making money ain't never gonna piss me off. Well, not never, but almost never. Almost never. Like who that dude from CNN that be popping off the mouth and just making everybody feel like not CNN, like I think is it the only black dude in Fox News? What's this motherfucker's name? What's this motherfucker's name? I don't even know if he's Fox News, but he's like this younger black man who's like, I don't know what all these Negroes are upset about. Like he's that type of motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like I just want to be like, nah. What's his name? I'm okay.
No. It's okay. I just want you to know I've started recording.
Jamie, when I got here, it was in the hopes that you did. All right. Blup, the pre-show. NerdProQuo, papa, NerdProQuo, papa, NerdProQuo. Boom, boom, mami, no me. NerdProQuo, boom, boom, mami, NerdProQuo. NerdProQuo no tiene adelante. We don't speak Spanish. Ustedes son gringos. I don't understand. Don't talk about my people. Oh, my God. Becky, did you hear what he said about us? I'm going to say some nerdy shit. Like one of my favorite things, it was like growing, and not, one of the many million of famous things I have. It's like Tiny Toon Adventures, but there's this one episode of Tiny Toons where Babs and Buster are fucking with Dizzy Devil. But this is a very early episode before they realized that they weren't gonna do the same thing that Warner Brothers does and just like have like two people fuck with somebody. But like eventually all the characters started becoming their own people and it wasn't just about that. But during the first season, Babs and Buster Bunny are fucking with Dizzy because they're like, nobody understands what you're saying. We're gonna help you speak. So they started putting rocks in his mouth. And this is like, and it's basically, like, it really is a metaphor for taking a black person and making them speak white. So they started putting rocks in his mouth, and he had to say, the wall in the mall is totally, totally tall. So he started saying something like, the wall in the mall is totally, totally tall, like Dizzy does. But then, like, they kept putting enough rocks in his mouth, which is also kind of making fun of white culture a little bit, I think, but not that much. Because I didn't look up the writers, but I'm pretty sure they're white, to quote Jessica Williams. Two dub queens for days. Anyway, so they put enough rocks in his mouth where he goes, the wall in the mall is like totally, totally tall. And then they say, for sure. And I thought that was funny, and it stayed with me. And like all the years passed by, and I'm like, the wall in the mall is like totally, totally tall. And then I just kept thinking about it, and I'm like, yo, let Dizzy live. Why can't Dizzy be Dizzy? He just wants to like be able to communicate in his own way with who he is. But these motherfucking rabbits gotta put fucking rocks in his mouth. He's Tasmanian. He is a native Tasmanian. Not that there are many that exist anymore. Thank you, Australian white people. You learned it from watching us, Dad. We learned it from watching you, Dad. We learned it from watching you. Countries who practice racist genocide influence children who practice racist genocide. That's my PSA for the day. So yeah, Dizzy Devil, the wall in the mall, is like totally, totally tall for sure. I just did this whole thing. Jamie just walked in. he will edit this part maybe, but like you need to listen to that whole little diatribe. You're gonna love it. You don't think it? Everything I said when I walked away.